Hello, my name's Sam French. You join me here, freedomalcohol.wordpress.com, and you can get me at freedomalcohol on Twitter. I'm going to be posting on the website today some information around quitting longer term. And by this I mean that 3 to 6 month period, that time when you've been free from alcohol for a little number of weeks, and you're starting to make it part of your daily routine to be free from alcohol, your daily and weekly routines. And it's really important that at this point you take some time out to review where you've come from and where you're going to. By this I mean not just a 5-minute kind of think or a little reflection on the way to work. I mean to physically take yourself away from the norm, perhaps take yourself to a location that you don't normally go to. Be a coffee shop or a library, or just somewhere away from something that you know, to sit down and to reflect upon what you've achieved, where you come from and where you're going to. And it's also an opportunity to reflect upon specifically how you're feeling now. Now, I decided to do this in the local leisure centre. For you that might be somewhere different. Anyway, so it's an opportunity to reflect on how you feel now. It is quite possible that a number of things will be happening to you at this point that you might not have taken time out to reflect on. You might again be associating with alcohol in a positive way. And this happened to me only the other weekend, and I recorded it at that point. You might start associating positively with alcohol. So what did I do? I was weekend off, and I started to think about alcohol, and I thought to myself, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a drink? I'm day off tomorrow, and yeah, it's the weekend. So you might start having some of those thoughts again. And what you're actually doing is you're associating positively with a behaviour from the past and thinking that you can bring that behaviour to now, act it out and feel better for that immediate gratification. And this will not be the case, because you'll just, well, most people would just end up back on the drinking routines again. So asking that question, asking yourself some questions around how you're feeling, how are your moods, are you feeling really high at the moment, or are you feeling really low? And what impact is this having on you and your thoughts around drinking? Also question yourself around your life goals. Has the recent weeks become more focused on the fact that you can't have a drink? Or are they focused on the future and what you're going to be able to achieve in the next few months? Let's just come off its stand. I suspect that the possibility of you focusing more upon having the prospect of being free from alcohol forever in your mind is more than likely to have crept back into your thoughts, and you've moved away from thinking about your overall life goals. So it's an opportunity to sit down and to think about this. What are your life goals? And to just pull it back in. For me, I'm still doing that, if I'm honest. Today I was just thinking about, am I absolutely maximising myself in my job, or would it be more authentic for me to do something else? And I keep coming back to this thought of should I be doing something to help others? And that's, I know it's not meant to sound corny, but it comes out like that. There's this underlying, I think, feeling in me that I should be doing something to help others, not necessarily alcohol related, because you hear a lot of people who are free from their problems end up going and supporting others doing that, and I feel that I'm doing that through this. But yeah, are my skills transferable? So I've started to think about that, but my aims are still the same. For me, that's aim high, be present, be authentic, and be truthful in everything that I do, and work towards my career development, which I'm very clear on what that next level looks like at the moment. But I am also reflecting on that, so I would encourage you to do that as well. And for me also, it's about my family and being a better dad for my family. So what's yours? So there's an opportunity to do that. You will have also had time to settle into some new routines, and you might also have picked up some new habits as part of that. It's quite a natural thing to do. They say that after about a month, 21 days to 30 days, I think different people say different things, you end up, you get into a new routine and you develop new behaviours. So it's important to review these. So what are your routines now, and how did they differ from when you were drinking, and are they good or bad? So for me, I've developed some interesting habits. I stay up later, which is good, but I also my diet isn't the best at the moment, so I need to review that. I've taken up a habit of drinking a energy can once a day, and I'm doing that later in the afternoon into the evening, so it's not ideal really. And I've got cravings for carbohydrate and salt again. Could be good, but also could be bad. So take some time out to think about what your new habits are, your new routines, and just reflect on whether you want to change these, or whether they're good or whether they're bad, and be very clear then on what your next steps are going to be from those. The other thing, which is very separate from these first three questions, is just around ensuring that, are you drinking enough water? I am dreadful at this. But one of the things that I have certainly learned in the first 3 months is that being dehydrated is not great for anybody who's trying to be free from alcohol. It has the ability, and I'm sure you found this as well, to bring back cravings, which, trust me, you really do not want to bring back. And just, I suppose, a couple of other things just at this 3 month point, and I'll write all this down and we'll get it in the 5-step plan as well, is, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. You are 3 months in, so what have you done to reward yourself? And I'm not talking about, you know, a costly experience, or buying a car, or I don't know, going on holiday for 2 weeks in Barbados. I'm talking about something really simple. So make sure, and the risk is you stop doing this, that you have rewarded yourself. I don't know, it might be, let's think of something, a massage or a facial, or I don't know, that particular album that you wanted. But make sure you do it and you make a fuss of yourself, even if you're on your own and not with friends. You just have that moment where you step aside and you say to yourself, the reason that I am doing this for myself is because I'm working towards my life goals, and part of that is being free from alcohol. And I wouldn't have been able to do this, or wouldn't have wanted to do this, whilst I was still drinking, because I wouldn't have had the energy, the desire, or the want to do it. And that for me is the case with the massage. I need to book that in, and I'm going to book that in, and I'm going to go and do it. So make sure that you treat yourself and recognise that you've done a great job. And the other thing is, don't be too hard on yourself if you're still experiencing some withdrawals. So this might be, and I'm trying to think of some examples of where I've read of people online, this might be that you still wake up and you still feel you've got a bit of a hangover occasionally. It might be that you're particularly dehydrated. A lot of people out there that I read about and that I've seen can take up to 6 months or more. So don't be too hard on yourself. And if you're still experiencing problems at this point, perhaps get yourself checked out at the doctor, just in case. I don't know, there might be, I'm not a doctor, but there might be a vitamin deficiency or something in your diet that's not quite right, or something not quite there. So if you haven't already, go and get a checkup and just make sure that everything's okay. And that's it. So you got those points. I don't think I can recall them all, but most importantly, take that time out. Really, you'll need to spend, I would say, a good hour actually sitting down, making some notes, reflecting, and then going away, and then you probably need to come back to it again. So you might need, with yourself, you know, 2 or 3 sessions of just redirecting and replanning, and just making sure that you're on the right path, because those things, those bad habits, those bad routines, they'll start to creep back in, and you need to have be very clear that you're on the right path again. Thank you very much for listening. You can get me, as I say, at Freedom Alcohol on Twitter, and look forward to talking to you all again soon. Cheers.